Oh, you know what? Did I ever put in CJ into the... I need to make sure that I put CJ into this, the thing, the cron. Did I put cron into the thing? Did I remember? No, I think I forgot. Save. Okay. We'll see if it works now. Cron should be one that you can get now. I still need to remake Eclipse. Honestly, I might do that tonight. Yeah, you see Cron on the top of the list now! Whoopee! Alright, someone's gotta get Cron. Hi, Cairo, Light, Bagel, Lucky, Shin. We got Zinnia. Let's go. Getting a lot of Miraju today. I don't know what that means. Miraju's coming back? It looks like it's gonna be 5 Mirages. Hi, Astra. Going back to the 17th. We have gotten 1 Cron. Let's go. The creature spotted. I see Jay and Astra. 2 of my amazing voice actors. Let's go. I love the Cypher one. Gojo killed it. As always. I love that, like, each one is different. Like, I think CJ made the, Kron one, obviously. I drew the Marcelo and the, Okal ones. CC made the Zinnia one. Strawberry made the Freya one. Hi, CC. CC. Who made the Miraju one? I forgot. I feel like Ross made one. No, Ross was going to, but never did. The Mirage and the Eclipse ones. Who made those? I'm sure it's in the artist tasks thing. Eclipse game prize. Oh, it was K! K Sage. Yeah, okay. Oh, Eclipse is Zinnia? Z-Eclipse is canon! In an AU. Alright, who made the Mirage one? I actually don't know who this is. It's someone who's not in the server anymore. Oh, it's Ray! Okay, Ray made that one. Right. Magos X being right? That's the most crack ship I've ever seen. That's crazy. Not canon in the slightest. We got 3 Mirages. I think that means he comes back to life. Well, I don't know if he's dead. He dies and then comes back with no memories. And crash lands into Solace. Alright, let's get started. We start off, I believe, with an Okul log, because this came out after the stream ended last time. Correct? Cypher X gun? That is canon. We got some juicy stuff today. Mark that as red. Alright, from Okul. I'm unsure. I've always considered myself a member of the House, and the House is my people, but I no longer can. Ever since the fight with Okana, I've considered them no longer my allies. Then the fight with the ghost happened. I should have won. I had the sword and the victory well within my grasp, but I let my fears get in the way. It's my own fault. I'm staying with Krufik as of right now, and the ghost has not left me alone. Him and Vay get along. For the time being, I won't deprive Vay of the companionship, and I suppose it's nice for the time being. On a related note, the clothing gifted by Krufik has been a blessing in this climate. I don't know how I would have managed without it. Vay was gifted a sweater as well. She seems to adore it. I will have to let Krufik know. I kind of like the Frostfire insignia. Ah, Okul redemption arc? Maybe? Shut the fuck up, Cece. He X his goo? He X his goo. Okul X Solace. You wish. Okul redemption. Mask gang lore. I'm glad I had found you, my friend. Ooh. This is Rin, and I forget who this one is. Hey Nag, look, I found someone. I don't think they can really talk. They make silly sounds. Yeah. See? Silly. I was wondering if they could come with us since we're gonna go to Solace. Oh? Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to read. I don't know why I read right to left. Whatever. Sure, I guess. I guess we could go to Solace together. The world leaves you. Waters lore. Let's go. Oh, picked up the wrong water bottle. Okul can be redeemed, guys. She's literally so good and kind. Yeah, I think Okul should receive consequences. Magos should receive consequences. Freya should receive consequences. Everyone who has done bad things or good things should receive consequences equal to what they've done. I think Freya deserves to have all good things. Cupcakes and her bakery, Cupcake the sheep, just cupcakes maybe in general. What other types of cupcakes? Okay, she bakes cupcakes. She has a sheep named Cupcake. What other kind of cupcakes could she have? Lucky is frustrated with Freya. Why? Oh, with the for not putting what's his name in jail? I can see why. Where are Koi's consequences for destroying Kindlegrim? The consequence is Kindlegrim got destroyed. And that is Kron's and Kroy's home. Lamb-flavored cupcakes? Mods? Mute him for 4 seconds. I decree. Guards, mute Bagel for 4 seconds. Is the music too loud, by the way? It's a little loud for me. I'll turn it down for myself so I can actually focus. Farewell, Astra. The seas mourn you. Can you live with that? It happens when the day has nearly drawn to a close, far after most of the employees have headed to their respective living quarters. Water sits in the main lab, typing on the computer before taking pause and seeming to backspace everything he had just written. He was tired. Too tired. It's been happening frequently to him as of late. Waters prides himself as a man who can work in any condition, short periods of rest, back to work. He can function perfectly well like that for extended periods of time. It is not that case now. It has not been that way since the freezing. When he finds peace in moments, he finds himself getting drowsier. It happened to him at the bar almost a month ago. He was waiting for Cam to show up, and the next thing he knew, he was being shaken awake by the man, laughing with him about it. It happened on the island in a moment he was left alone to attend to the medical tent. He was writing in a pen, and then the ink was smudged on the front of his tank. It became a lot more of a concern in that exact moment. As he stares at the screen before him, he feels it happening to him again. He tries to read, figure out where he last was, but the words are getting lost. His eyes jump whole runs of code. It's illegible in this state. He remembers what he was doing. Was inputting data from the last week of weather into a file he maintains to track the patterns. Helps the prediction stuff. Damn it. Waters rests his head against his hand. His forehead is pressed against the ridges of helmet so heavily that he can feel it starting to leave an imprint. It's uncomfortable. He adjusts his head, to prevent that. But then he's tipping forward. His arm slides to the side. His head rests down in the crook of his elbow. A loud thump of an incident. The water shakes around him and he shuts his eyes against it. He should be embarrassed. That was embarrassing, but he's really tired and nobody is around. People might look through cameras later, but he would know when that happens. He would know who would do it. It would be a conversation, but not a bad one, so why should he really concern? Somehow this spot is comfortable. Despite the thoughts in his mind calling him to stir, to move, get coffee, or something, they sit too quiet in his mind. He doesn't listen. He doesn't move. It is quiet. Until the music starts. A light sound, like a music box, trickling out the intercom speakers in the lab and the lab alone. He's never noticed it before. It's unfamiliar to him. Some kind of Ciros feature? Like a lullaby. It's peaceful. Before he truly realizes it, he's drifting off, gone into a dreamless sleep, head on a table, in the main lab of SUNC. Then the water rises. It pulls from condensation, from the ice room, from the glass walls. It gathers to a point behind where Waters lays. It floods beneath his feet once it's gathered enough. It pulls up around his ankles. Clack. Clack. The chains. They pull as if guided by a mechanical system. The puddle is deep, deeper than it should be, than it even could be. It drags his boots down into it. The legs of the chair tremor, as if weight beyond what it can maintain is forced upon it. It creaks, but holds. It's trying to... Hey, Dad, where do you store the big pots for stew? Light. She approaches from the side door, having headed this way from the dining hall. Once more it is quiet, pulled to a halt. The music stops abruptly. It stopped the moment the handle creaked to show the opening of the door. It is like the environment holds its breath. Light sees Waters laying with his head on the desk. It's what gave her pause initially. She doesn't continue speaking, seeing as he's asleep and can't respond, but her eyes rise. They catch on another pair of eyes in the room, 2 pinpricks of blue on an inky frame. The same eyes she once saw months prior. Then her eyes snap down to the puddle. The watery chain snapped around Waters' ankles, the disappearing of his boots beneath the water. Light's brows furrow as she looked back up to meet the eyes. It's you, she stated softly. Then she took a step forward and briefly looked down as her steps hit the water on the floor. It moves away from her, pulls as if with a mind of its own closer to where Waters still sits. She continues to speak and raises a hand as if to calm the entity she addresses. You're the spirit from before. What are you doing with my dad? The music box clicks back on, but it's louder now. Light didn't hear much of it before it cut off earlier. Now it's blasting into the room. She looks up and finds the speaker it comes from with ease. She finds it while covering her ears, but she can't focus on it for long because the door she entered from snaps closed. The water beneath her feet had rushed back like a wave and crashed into it. Light steps back away from the water, away from the speaker, and she tries to find the eyes again, but they're gone. In absence of a spirit to find, she looks to her father and sees that the chains have started to move again. The chains, they pull. Water starts to slip out of the chair. It rolls away. A separate set of watery chains builds from the puddle quickly. It climbs and snaps to Waters' wrists to catch him. Wait, No! What are you? Light calls to the air, snapping her eyes around as she rushes to Waters, but it's too late. The chains pull him beneath the waves just as she gets to him, but she can see him, just beneath the surface of the water. She presses her hand into the puddle, but it's only as deep as her palm, like it smacks against the floor instead of into the seemingly endless depths of water that she actually sees. Dad! She calls out, as if waking him would get him to fight against the chains, to swim up and into a distance where she could grab him. But he doesn't wake. He doesn't even stir. With a distressed sound, she smacks her fist into the surface, as if to break some invisible barrier. It only cracks the stone, and Waters only sinks lower. Light shoots her eyes up to look around the space, ripping off her left bracelet and immediately posing the bow within line of sight. The blot of ink in the air seems to stare at her. Its unstable form spills and reforms. Bring him back, she snarls, demands. It's a powerful spirit. Has to be. There's no way anything else could... Ha ha ha. The laughter seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. It makes Light's ears twitch and sets her on edge. She focuses her hold on the bow, on keeping it drawn on the shadow. The ink spills and joins the water on the ground. It all pulls to it. It rises and falls to meet each other in the middle. Pinpricks grow to shining, bright eyes on a large face. The shape that forms is like a woman, half of one at least. The upper body with hair spilling out in waves up into the air to fill into the ceiling. She leans forward with arms up and fingers laced into a bed for her head to rest on. You actually believe you have the right to be making demands here. That's cute. Not a spirit. Not a spirit. A panicked breath in. Shut up, Light says through gritted teeth and holds her bow steady. What are you? The expression contorts into annoyance. There's the sound of a rush of water as she lifts her head and poses an arm to strike a single finger against one of the walls of the SUNC. It bleeds into the ocean from the point of contact, the visual distorting and melting away. It spreads like a sickness from that wall to the ceiling, the floor. You haven't figured it out? The ocean rushes around. It moves as if the room itself is being pulled through time and space. The walls, furniture, all the familiar sights of SUNC, of Solace, begin to disappear. It gives unstable footing. The movement can be felt. Light has to release the arrow so that she can slam her hand down into the floor to catch herself. Water splashes up at the point of impact, making her realize she's now standing on water. Beneath her feet, she sees the ocean floor. Rocks, crystals, coral, things that are not around the environment of the facility. Sunken ships, high-tech or ancient. Massive skeletons of sea creatures surrounded by the ocean wildlife that have taken it as new home. Everything that can be buried beneath the oceans. It's as if it's all gathered here. Don't be slow, child. Light looks back up at the words to find the watery woman pulling herself into a stand. Chains on her wrists, chains on her ankles. She stands well over 20 feet tall, and she reaches up to where the air meets the sea again in the ceiling. There she catches Waters in her palms as he drops. Then she looks down at the ocean floor and holds Waters to her chest as she moves and takes to sit back down. When she does, it sends out a wave against the seafloor, a ripple. It shakes Light's footing as if on a ship in a storm. She holds onto her bow tightly. Wave Seeker, Light says quietly. You're the Wave Seeker, aren't you? The Wave Seeker lifts her gaze from the waters that lays in her palms to Light before her. She lowers her hands to rest the hold in her lap. The chains hit against the surface of the water and come to rest. You must be the reason why Dad is so worried about losing time. She looks confused. Must I? Light stares at her warily, and then looks down at Waters laying in her palms, still asleep. The chains are not on him, but neither is his tank. He's breathing, and he doesn't seem to be in pain. The Wave Seeker shifts, and the visual of Waters is briefly obscured by the curl of her fingers. I don't recall doing that, specifically. Slowly, Light pulls the bow back into the bracelet and snaps it onto her wrist. She keeps her gaze to where she knows Waters is, and she thinks. What are you doing to him, then? She asks carefully. The Wave Seeker tilts her head and then seems to sigh. She shuffles her hold of Waters to set him down on the seafloor a good distance in front of her with surprising gentleness. It puts him closer to Light now, close enough that she can see him better, close enough that she can get to him. I'm letting him sleep. The words cause a pause to fill the air. Light fills it by taking a breath in, as if only now she can breathe. Is it a relief? Is it a relief? Is it confusion that releases the tension in her shoulders? It's hard to say. She looks up to the face of the large woman, though the expression is unchanging, unreadable. Is it malicious? Is it lying? What? She questions aloud, hoping for Something. The Wave Seeker lifts a hand and hovers it over top of Waters. Light tenses up with a hand already ready on her wrist again, but she watches as the floor lifts into a block of water beneath him, like some kind of bed. He doesn't sleep easily. I am helping. Light looks from the Wave Seeker to Waters laying on the bed. She takes careful steps to approach him, and the Wave Seeker does not move to attack. Her large hand slowly returns to her lap, and Light looks down at Waters. His sleeping face is calm, free from the strain a nightmare would add to it. She places a hand on his arm, feels that he is really there. She leaves her hand there. Why? She asks, almost breathless. I am not done with him. Light's eyes shoot up. Her grip on Waters' arm grows firm. The words make her uneasy. What does it mean? What is her intention? What is her plan? A protective fire burns in her chest, and the Wave Seeker just stares at her vacantly, like as if her face is a porcelain mask. It cracks when she smiles. You will not get in my way again. The sea sweeps up. It flows over top of Waters and crashes into Light, pushing her back. She holds her arms up to brace against it. When she looks to her dad, she sees him laying still there, unaffected by the waves, but getting further as she's taken away. No! She fights it, planting her feet down and trying to hold back the flood, but there is only so much one can do against a force of nature. Light tries to take her dragon form, something stronger so she can push through, get to him, grab him, fly him out of here somehow, but her body does not change. The waves crash over her and send her tumbling until she crashes into a pillar of water. She pants and coughs water out of her lungs. Then, staring at her hands, she tries to will the change to occur again, but it just doesn't work. She doesn't feel the connection. It's like it's been severed. Horror in her eyes, she raises her gaze across the room, only to see that the Wave Seeker is right in front of her. The ocean is swept around her, on her features. It erases most of the visual of humanity from her face. All there is now is the glowing blue eyes that stare with something like a vast and unending anger, something violent and infinitely scorned. The chains are fully taut, and she strains against them, but it doesn't stop her from her clawed hand from slamming down on Light as if to crush her like a bug. The water fills Light's lungs. It's all around her. Salt water stings against old wounds. It scratches her throat. It burns her eyes, so she shuts them. She stumbles back and hits the floor, digs her claws into it when she feels it. Then she turns her whole body and chokes out the water until she can breathe again. It hurts. Her body trembles. When her eyes open, she sees the floor of the main lab, SUNC. Quickly, she looks around, but the only water she sees is what left her lungs. There's no blot of ink, no woman of water, no glowing blue eyes. Then there's Waters, still at the desk, still fast asleep with his head on his arms, tank still on. There's no chains on his ankles, no puddle at his feet. It's as if it all didn't even happen. Light stares at Waters there for a second. Then she slowly pushes herself to her feet and makes her way to her desk nearby. Pulling open a drawer, she retrieves a blanket she leaves there, takes it over to him to cover him with it. She says nothing. She doesn't wake him. She lets him rest as she mentally picks herself back up and turns to the side door she came in from to find those pots she was looking for before on her own. But she will not forget this. In one passing glance back, she makes her concern obvious. There is worry in her brows, words and questions she wishes to say or ask, warnings that fall dead on his lips for the sake of protecting him. Nothing can convince her that Wave Seeker is trying to help him. In fact, she is now sure that the Wave Seeker is a danger to him, but what can she do about it? It is a question that haunts her mind as she walks away, and slowly, the door shuts naturally behind her. Then the music box starts again. Starts again?! Don't leave him, Light! Go back! Dude, Waters' lore is so good. And Myth is a fantastic writer. Like, I don't know if Myth is here, but if you're watching or listening, the way you write is perfect for reading out loud. It's very helpful to have those like breaks and pauses. So good. Please never burn yourself out. Take time, because you put out a lot of stuff for a week, and I want, this is good. I don't want you to ever burn yourself out or anything, because this is a talent that, like, you should write a book. You should write a book. I would buy this book. You're doing phenomenal. That's good. You are phenomenal. Keep it up. You a lot planned and done in advance. That's fair. I envy you. That was fire. So you can have rest days. I have too many rest days. That's my problem. All right. Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting I have that stupid picture. I need to make a new one to go in the back. Sorry, jump scare. From Oliver. How can a little skunk seem to have full control over a creature so large? My mind is not my own. My body does not belong to this soul. I want to go home. I'm confused and alone. Oh? Those of you who haven't seen Cupcake yet, Freya has a new pet. I have a new pet, Cupcake. I need to talk to Comet about how to take care of a sheep. There's a related thing later, but I wanted to get that out before. I like the check marks. Alright, we have a transcript from SUNC. Let me, turn off the music.
Survey from the island. Is the weather outside of it more hazardous by proximity? Is there a concern I need to address Freya about this?
Analyzing now.
Great. Okay, great.
I thought you were dead. It was terrifying. Don't do that to me again, Alice.
Stop. Stop. Don't use her voice like that. Don't talk like her.
Like Lella. This was the voice you chose. You want to take it in your life. It's not my fault if it's upsetting you now.
What do you want?
I'm glad you finally decided to ask. And I got a transmission out to the Garrison Command.
What? When? She's...
Dead, I know. This was before she died. It wasn't really going anywhere until...
What do they know? Are they coming here?
And they might be considering it.
Damn it.
You want to protect this planet, don't you? I can help this time.
Why?
But I don't want you to play dead on me again. It's so much more dull out there. Making planets scared people. At least something is happening here.
How can you help?
Let's discuss this further without your little eye in the sky, alright?
Fine. Zeros. End transmission.
That's scary! Please don't, please, Dorsa, do not come to Solace. Please, do not come to Solace. That's the last thing we need. Are we gay or divorced? No, divorced. Why? Are Comet and Feather divorced? Cupcake wants you dead? Actually, that's true. Yeah, I've seen the disgust. Yeah. Cupcake wants you dead. Check pings. Have I been pinged? I have not been pinged. Oh, CC check pings. Okay. Hold on. I forgot I had that. Oh, that's terrible. Happy affiliate anniversary. Yo? Wait, how long has it been? How long has it been? Can you share? Oh, Myth, can I share the video? I don't think Freya's gonna see it. What video? What video? Did I miss something? Is there something I'm missing? It's a very subtle thing. And the coding. Oh, is this like a YouTube video? Hold on. I'm so smart! Not really, I completely missed that. I was like, there has to be something with that weird coding in the side, but... Okay. Let us watch this. Whatever it is. The unknown D224. I feel like a baby seeing Hibachi for the first time. What's going on? Oh, I didn't call me kidding. You just missed. You just missed the scariest thing I've ever seen. Welcome. For those of you who are just joining, welcome. This is not a normal like stream that you might see. Do any of you like lore and Minecraft SMPs that are not plot problematic? Not problematic. Not problematic. We're chill. We're cool. Not problematic. We are a Minecraft SMP that has lots of storytelling and fun stuff. We're Bedrock and Java compatible. Yippee! Wait, let me. Ah! Stop doing that! You're gonna scare the new people. You're gonna. Hold on. Yeah, that's the Discord link. You play on an SMP? Wait, what's your SMP? What's it called? Stop scaring the new people, CJ! Stop scaring the new people. Kingdom SMP? Awesome. Wait, I kind of want to know. I love like lurking on other SMPs. I just recently learned the Stinky SMP. I think it's gonna stop scaring the new people. Oh, maybe that is a new person. You're fine.
Lizard.
But welcome. We're super cool, and we have about a month left until the end of the season. But there's some like really big stuff coming up. There's I'm gonna ban the skeleton. I'm gonna ban the skeleton. Some of these people was here for the Kingdom SMP? Job? Who said job? Oh, the job application. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, our biggest event for the season is coming up on March 7th. If any of you are interested in puzzles and cool lore, we have that coming up. But the premise of our SMP is there was an event called the Great Anomaly where 90% of the universe was wiped out. And skeleton is gonna kill me. It's gonna give me a heart attack. Nobody uses it until the worst times. Yes, you could join the SMP. Our Discord link is right there. Yeah. Thank you for following. Adrian, anyway, every Tuesday we do a thing called Lore Tuesday, where we go through and read everyone's, like... That thing, it has to have run out at this point. It has to have run out. Can I stand up? Why? I can, but why would I? Sitting down is much more comfortable. I'm also wearing like a massive, maybe you want to see my massive hoodie. Anyway, back to the premise of, anyway, there's this planet that was created by my character, called Solace, that, it's a lot more complicated than that. We have a, here, let me show you, we have a channel in here. Hold on. Oh, ignore that! Ignore, you didn't see that. We have a channel called Getting Started. Once you join the server, that has like literally, I have like a 40-minute deep dive of the last season's lore. I have like a bunch of like how to create a character, blah blah blah. Anyway, we have a wiki. We have a wiki that we just made this season. Anyway, it's super cool. We're gonna continue with we're gonna continue with Lore Tuesday. Let's go. All right, so we just watched this really scary video. I'm terrified. Dorsus should not come to Solace, please. And now we got a frog video, even better. The frog recording a VC. I keep hearing it's going great. I'm scared. How many people are in there right now? Too many. That means it's scary. All right, this was called Everything Works Out. That doesn't bode well. Or it does. Or it's 2 minutes though, so we're probably fine. Okay. Here we go. I swear, if Violence shows up in this one, if Violence the Clown shows up in this video, I'm bringing out the disco balls again. Oh, this is another frog nightmare. I think I was in this one briefly. Who's that?
You should join me in the ocean. You should join me in the ocean.
Three choices here, Freya.
Jesus.
You either click the left one, the right one, or you sit back down next to Marcella.
This is wrong.
I'm not stopping you from doing any of them.
I'm going to flick the right lever.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
You got that.
Okay.
Oh my god.
The delay. Oh. I love how orange aliens. Oh! What did I say? What did I say?
Ren? Where's Elk? Where's Elk?
Frog, are you okay?
Quite pleasant the normal way.
Yay!
Thank you.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, you guys see Oliver
well.
back there? Look at it.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Even though I didn't
Oh my
realize I
god.
helped at all. But you
Why
did.
is Balios? Is that supposed to be Balios? Oh my god, my screen had a graphical glitch that was so scary. It's probably good I didn't see second violence.
Not
sitting.
Hello?
It's all your fault.
Hello?
It's all your fault. Oh god, that was so scary. Okay. I hate violence. Number one violence, the clown hater. Okay. Moving on. Journal entry from Lucky. It's been a while since I've written anything, and I don't think I'll be writing again anytime soon. My days of solace have been filled with complications and adjustments, but the people here have welcomed me with open arms, and I've appreciated every minute of it. I know I can be quite grumpy, but every moment spent with one of my friends has made this life so much easier. I hope for many more days, such as the ones I've had over the past few months. Lucky. There's music that may need to be muted. It's okay, I don't fear anything. I kind of fear Twitch. We'll see. Oh! Oh! Dude, Lucky, you've locked in since you got that iPad. Since you got Procreate. You've locked in. Your art has been so good. I mean, it's always good, but like, it's another level now. Oh, another video? Oh, we're in for a treat. Oh, it's the cupcake one. Let's go. Yeah, you got Procreate. Yeah! Procreate's fire. That's what I use. Pause the thing so I don't have to hear myself. First thing you're going to do, besides preheating the oven, we're going to get our cupcake liners and put them in our tin. The muffin tin, which can also be used for cupcakes. Frog, I had an idea. April Fool's Day, you should put out a video. I'll make you a special intro music that's like, that's my recipe, this is a frog video, boom, psh, boom, psh, or something. I think it'd be great. Which should be right in front of you. Just make sure to put one in each. This will prevent the cupcakes from sticking. And I don't know if you've had cupcakes before, but usually they have the little paper on them. That's what these are. The paper will stick to the cupcake, and the cupcake will not stick to the pan. Okay, to make the batter, you are going to want to grab your bowl, and you're going to whisk in the flour. All of your ingredients should be on your... I was totally winging this, by the way. Put all those just reading off a recipe website that I just brought up. The wet ingredients. That's usually how you want to do it. You're going to whisk the flour and baking powder. Everything should be measured out for you. And salt, all together in a bowl. I don't know if I really need to come over and look at everyone's work here, just to make sure that I actually measured everything correctly. Next up, you're going to want to place the wet ingredients in another bowl. You're going to put butter and milk together. The butter should already be melted, so that should be pretty easy. You should. We're gonna have to stack a lot of the little extra empty bowls once we put everything together. Most of my time baking is spent washing the dishes. And then in a third bowl, you're going to mix the eggs together. Me not realizing there are so many bowls in this recipe. Now that doesn't mean like beat them up. I thought that's what it meant the first time that I saw that phrasing. But you're going to want to whisk it really thoroughly. If you can't do it fast enough, I mean, I can just move my hand really fast. But I do have some electric egg beaters specifically for this, if you'd like one. Punching the counter is so funny. You just move your hand really fast, or I can do it for you. You're probably going to want to go faster than that, Feather. I know you can do it. There you go.
Yeah.
That's certainly unique. Mira, you're spinning the piping bag. Okay, you know, do whatever you like.
Getting
Looking
on the
good.
floor.
Mira, get off the floor. What are you doing? Okay. Piping bag doesn't need to come in until later, once we're ready to ice the cupcakes. Icing. Frog, are you... Frog, stop barking, please.
Are you
That wasn't canon! That wasn't canon! Bray would never say that! Oh, my screen is glitching. That wasn't canon.
joking? Are you joking? Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? You're... Wow. Wow.
Alright, we're gonna move on now. Okay, now, as you are eating the eggs, you're gonna want to slowly pour in the sugar over like 30 seconds. You really want to get it in there evenly. Don't pour
Someone
it all
should have
once.
brought in a dog and be like, sorry, my dog's here.
Just a nice even pour. Okay, this part you may, I can do it for you. You're gonna want to beat the eggs even faster. You want to do this for a long time until it has tripled in size. It's gonna be
okay,
very,
Light.
very white and fluffy. I might have to do this for you. Yeah, let me just.
I have a actual whisker at home. I can just use one. Electric one.
Oh yeah, I probably should have.
I should have brought
to
it.
bring
with me.
yours. Yeah, maybe. All right, there you go. Awesome. You know what? I'm impressed, Waters. You don't even need my help. There you go. And Frog. And now is when you're going to add the flour to it. The flour mixture. You're going to want to add it by scattering the flour
What time is it for
across
you right
the
now?
surface of the egg beat mixture. And then you're going to continue beating it, mixing it together, and then add a little bit more flour. And keep doing that till the flour is all the way mixed in. As you want to stop beating as soon as you stop seeing the flour. Does that make sense? All right, let me come. This is a very important step, so I want to make sure you're doing it right. You made cupcakes before, Feather?
Go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that explains a lot. In a good way, in a good way. Looking good.
I sure hope it does.
Awesome. Okay. Once you have all done that, we're going to pour the milk and vanilla and oil all into the now empty flour bowl. And then you're going to want to add about 3/4 of a cup of the egg batter into the milk mixture. And then you're just going to mix it together. You can be pretty vigorous. You don't have to go slow with this, but you don't want to beat it too much. It'll look kind of foamy. And then you're going to want to take that mixture and pour it back into the egg mixture. Although we just poured some of the egg mixture in, we're going to pour it back into the bowl it came from. And then that you're going to want
Not
to
the
beat
clown.
together for the final 15 seconds or so. Yeah.
Someone put something behind me.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Put a clown plushie.
Oh. That's weird. Actually, like.
Hi, Delios.
You okay, Frog?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just
I'm
I don't know
Whoever
why.
did that in this
gonna-
class, I can find out who did that.
I'm just gonna place the.
You know, I just realized I still haven't updated Freya's skin. She has orange eyes. She still has green on the skin because I forgot to change it.
Hold on. I'm gonna. I can look back and. Oh my gosh. I can look back and see if I can see who it was. Hold on.
There's another one.
Mira!
What are you
That is not a nice thing to do.
Why are you?
Why would
doing
you do that? Been awfully silent this whole class.
Are you really sure this isn't Mira?
Yeah.
Um. Mira, is that you? For real, for real? Hey, it's
Mira,
is that
say
you?
something.
Mira, say something, please.
Oh, God.
Whoa, whoa.
You know what happened to Frog?
I forgot.
I forgot.
Okay.
You know what? Get out of my class. Go.
Wait,
You didn't need the sprinkles back. Go. I will not have people bullying other members of my class, even if it is Mira. Marcel will have something to say about that later. Frog, are you
Drama.
okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. Well, continuing on. Now all we have to do is give it one final mix, and we're going to pour the batter, or you can scoop it, into each of the spaces in the muffin tin. And then all you have to do is put that in the oven. And we're going to wait, and like I said, I have cookies. Okay, now that the cookies are gone and time has passed, I think it's time for us to take our muffins or cupcakes out of the oven. Make sure to let them cool before you put any decorations on it. I didn't know that the first time I made a cake. Apparently it's the same in all of baking. And if you put anything on a baked good while it's still hot and fresh, it will melt and not be very good. It'll still taste good, but it just won't look good. So we're going to wait for a few minutes. Like 2 minutes is fine. And then we're going to place it on a cooling rack to continue cooling. If you move it before you put it on, or if you move it before the 2 minutes, it can kind of get stuck. And then just wait until it cools completely. I have some... Okay, now we should be able to decorate it. You can pick up
I'm a
your,
yapper. I apologize.
I keep calling them muffins.
Baking
Cupcakes.
episode.
There's not much of a difference between muffins and cupcakes. Cupcakes just have decoration on them and usually don't have
Welcome back, Astro.
chocolate chips or nuts or anything in them. Okay, I have sprinkles and I have a piping bag with icing. I only made vanilla. I didn't have time to make other things like chocolate or strawberry, but maybe next time. And go ahead and decorate your cupcakes. Once you're done, you can...
Why does Freya bake? It's a hobby. Why is my screen having, like, glitches? What is going on? I mean, she can eat. She can taste. She gave herself, like, taste buds, in a way. Like, she can sense when something is sweet or savory or whatever. She can't digest it, but, like, she absorbs the matter and converts it into energy. And she does it because, Marcelo's really bad at cooking. He just, like, he eats food to live. And Freya makes him very nice things to eat. So that he has a little bit more joy in his life. She's okay. She can give herself whatever she'd like, but the problem is she would have to become an expert on whatever that is. So she spent years researching how to give herself sort of cybernetic type of like sensory thing. The first thing she figured out for herself is eyes and ears. And then like technically the way she speaks is not like with vocal cords or anything. It's with like she's like imitating the sounds, and then she's moving her mouth so that it looks like she's speaking like a human. And her eyes aren't like human eyes, they like just give her sensory information. Same with her ears. How could she spend years researching how to run a planet? That's funny. That's funny. She's still not very good with people. But yeah, she was like, the next thing she wanted was taste buds, because she realized that like eating things is fun. It's a big cultural part of like humanity is eating and making food. So she was like, I want to do that.
she doesn't want to like she doesn't have any desire to become human, but she wants to like understand them more, because she finds them fascinating. And also she wants to do it so she can, you know, become closer to Marcelo. Can put him up to display. I'm gonna come and check it out. I know, I love, like, I don't talk about it very much, but, like, the way that, like, Freya is so different. She has gotten very good at appearing human. Because, like, first couple years, she was really uncanny. She didn't know how facial expressions worked, or, like, she was just good at, like, copying other people. She's a fast learner. But, like, every expression that she makes, everything she says or whatever is, like, it's a facade, almost. Like, she has to, when she's, like, feeling happy, like, she feels emotions and everything. But she doesn't have any of, like, the physical reactions to it that a human would. That's why, like, she doesn't feel fear. So when she wants to appear, like, concerned for something, she has to actively think, I'm feeling concerned. What do humans look like when they feel concerned, and want to share that? Because it's like, it's humans, like, you know, the way we communicate with each other is through a lot of body language. So she's had to learn how to do all of that to, like, demonstrate to other people how she's feeling. And I think that's part of why a lot of people don't understand her, is because, like, she just seems so, like, carefree all the time. Because she's missing that level of body language. There's, like, a barrier there. So I think a lot of people don't take her seriously and stuff, or feel like she doesn't feel what everyone else is feeling. What is going on, Mika? Anyway, I'll stop yapping about Lumerin, because I think it's a really cool thing. Ooh, very fancy feather. Just wait till you guys meet Omen. Because the thing about Freya is special. She met humans and she really likes them and wants to, like, appear to other people as a human. But to someone like Omen, he's completely different. Other Lumerin would be completely different too. Most of them, like, aren't even visible. They just are, you know, their natural state is just pure energy. And you can't sense them. Anyway, delicious. I would eat that in an instant. Otter, I have to say, I'm impressed. You have baking skill. Have you considered becoming? Have you considered becoming a baker? Okay. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
This looks really good, Frog. I love the color. Did you decide to take out, like, all of the, like, green sprinkles and use only those?
Yeah.
That's
love the
dedication
color
right
green.
there.
I love green.
That's
I
fair.
wish I was green.
I'm sorry you're not. And this is mine. Nothing super special. These are ready to go. Does anyone have questions?
Can we just eat the ingredient, like, eat the icing?
You can eat the icing out of the bag, yeah.
Okay. That's a game changer. Yay!
You can take the sprinkles too if you want. No, I can make all of your sprinkles green if you'd like.
Thank you.
Everyone's giving their icing to
Frog.
Frog.
Freya, don't look behind you.
Don't look behind me.
Don't look behind you.
Should I be scared? Okay, I'm not looking behind me.
Mama, there's a girl behind you.
What? What is that? Hold on.
The noise
you?
kills me.
Come back here. Well, I didn't find them, but I did find a sheep.
Yay! Rescue mission.
You want cupcakes?
I mean, really seems fat enough.
Oh,
Oh, it likes frog.
it's fluffy.
Aww.
Reminds me of I forgot his name actually.
What should I name it?
Looks like a Jeremy.
Jeremy?
Cupcake.
Yep. Jeremy.
Cupcake! Wait, that's a perfect name. I'm gonna name him Cupcake. Come here, Cupcake.
Yay, Cupcake.
Cupcake's like,
Cupcake's looking back at us like, help me.
that was great. Cupcake. Alright. Let me have the cupcake.
thing coming up here. But first, we have a journal from Light. Oh, multiple journals. February 14th. Kron's safe. I have them tucked into a pillow fort we both made after we ate lunch. They've been sleeping after I healed their injuries. I feel so guilty for being unable to protect them. They were hurt by that damned goddess, and I couldn't protect them. I don't know how to say that word. I need to do more. I want to find Papa Croy. I want to tell him what happened. I'm scared. I'm scared that I'll find my siblings so badly hurt the next time that so-called goddess tries again, that even my own magic wouldn't be able to heal them. I don't want to lose a sibling. Not again. Gods above, I'm scaring myself. Kron's staying at the facility for the time being. They do not want to return home, and I will not force them to do so. It's safer here anyways. They have me, they have Dad. We'll protect them. If I ever see that damned goddess again, I'm going to bite her, while in my dragon form. I'm too tired to be this angry with people. February 17th. Today was a wonderful day. Lucky had come over to the SUNC to cook dinner with me, and for me to have a chance to introduce Lucky to Dad and Kron. I should have spoken more about Lucky to Dad. I've been busy picking up more multi-day shifts since Zinnia was brought to the hospital. I feel guilty for springing this all on him like this. I wouldn't be surprised if he did a background check on Lucky after the meal. When I started dating Virgil, my dad did a background check. He's in information security, and actually every person I've dated, I'm pretty sure he's done a background check on them. Frog brought the kazoo? I should bring up my banjo. I should start telling him what's going on with me. Does he want to know that stuff? Most of it is mundane, boring. It's just me working for long days. I'm new to having a dad that actually cares. I'm not too sure what to do without hurting him. The meeting went well either way. Lucky and I are dating now. Yay! My lesbians! Let's go! Yay! February 18th. My throat still hurts. I finally know who that spirit who is attached to Dad is. No, I can't call her a spirit. She's a deity of some kind, or a force of nature. The Wave Seeker. I saw her once before in the walk before the greenhouse when I'd come in after the tornado. I heard her voice once. Gods above. I had thought her to be a spirit attached to waters for some reason. I was wrong. I was so wrong. I think I had interrupted her from doing something. She tried to drown me. My throat and lungs still hurt from all the salt water. Why does it feel like someone had tried to crush my windpipe? I might just be feeling phantom pains from something else, or it might be from the salt water. I don't know. What I do know is that the Wave Seeker is a danger to Waters and everyone else around him. Who can I talk to about this? As far as I know, I'm the only one who has seen and heard her. Would anyone believe me? I'll keep it to myself for now. Observe as much as I can. That's all I can do for now. Talk to Waters! Talk to Waters! That's who you should be talking to. Alright, we have... Cupcake! What am I going to do with this thing? What do they even eat? Ah! Bat! 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 Do you like apple strudel? I think I have some in my... here. Hope! I've been told that's a very bad idea. Okay, don't talk to Waters then? I'll take that as a yes. Maybe I should have named you Strudel. Well, you just do your thing, Cupcake. I have to get back to work now. Help. What do you want? Ah! I need backup. I still need to talk to Comet about that. Alright. Returning to work. Sorry. Flashbanged myself. This is Lucky. It had been a good couple of weeks of recovery, and Lucky had felt it was about time she returned to helping her dear friend, Solvex. Oh, no! Not Magos! Don't go back! Except poor Lucky has the part of her brain that's the cybernetic whatever that's telling her that Magos is the best person in the world. Other than some migraines here and there, things have been good. She was even able to hide her procedure scars behind her hair, so no one would question further than they needed to. The satyr walked along the path to the ship, humming a small tune. As she made it to the door, she made sure to look around to see if Solvex was out working on the ship. Upon walking inside, she called out, "Solvex, hey, I'm back here, you here?" Solvex answered back, "Yes, I have been very busy while you were on your medical leave." Holographic screens surrounded Solvex, showing unreadable results to all but him. She walked behind him, tilting her head, and quietly overseeing the information before ignoring it. "You should really get out more. When's the last time you took a break?" "I believe it was the ball. I cannot afford breaks like the rest of you, and I believe I am running out of time." Solvex hit a holographic button and watched another serum appear as a failure. "I have come to the conclusion that the Keepers of Solace are looking for a scapegoat due to their recent failures of containing and capturing criminals. I will be that scapegoat. My predictions say so?" Really? Scapegoat! That's what you're calling it, okay. Lucky cleared her throat, trying to think. She hesitates before placing a hand on his shoulder. "Well, I'm here for you. To help and just to be your friend. If you ever need anyone, of course. I kinda owe you a lot." "Everyone owes me a lot. After all, I am the best said doctor on Solace." "I'm sorry. This is too funny. The lab is ready for you at any time. I'd also clean up the failed vials so you don't mutate yourself again. The newest batch I've cooked up is yielding promising results so far." Solvex snapped his fingers and the majority of the holographic screens disappeared, and the one that remained translated itself to a language Lucky knows. "But before you hop back onto this project, I must tell you one thing." "Of course, fire away," she said as she walked over to find her lab coat and took it off the hook. Lucky returned beside him as she slipped the coat on and peered at the hologram in interest. "Do not trust Waters. Whatever you do, do not trust him. He may seem like he cares, but underneath he's a ticking bomb. His race did encounter my people at one point, and they did not come in peace." Solvex began on the project again. Lucky stood there quietly for what seemed like minutes. Waters seemed so nice and Light trusted him, but she did barely know Waters, so maybe Solvex was right. Is this gonna be like a Romeo and Juliet type thing? That'd be great. What if he wasn't right, and something happens and Light gets upset about this, and what has she gotten herself stuck in the middle of? Lucky shook her head, ignoring the growing conflict stuck in the back of her mind for now. "Okay, well, I actually went to his facility not too long ago. It's really nice. He seemed nice as well, just quiet." She walked to the side of the room to gather some items before glancing back at her, behind her at Solvex. "Lots of people trust him, you know." "Oh, I know. Sometimes the most dangerous attack is one from an ally." The satyr returned to his side, setting the things down and beginning to work. "I guess you're right." After some silence, she speaks again. "So why are you telling me this now?" "Because you may be the only one that can listen. The choice, however, is yours, if you want to believe this information or not." Solvex adjusted the serum once again. Lucky stopped what she was doing. She fully faced him, thinking of what to say. I do trust you," she sighs. "This is just a lot. I mean, I was just over there, and if he's bad, then Light and Kron could be in danger. But I don't think they'd believe me if I told them that, and Solvex, can you promise me something? Since you have done so much for me already, I suppose I can promise you something." Solvex had made a space open on his calendar. "So Light has been working a lot at your hospital, and she's very close to Waters, so if you do get into an altercation with him and she butts in or something, could you try not to harm her?" "I promise not to hurt Light." Lucky smiled. She was glad they got along. She enjoyed Solvex's company. That's because you got the cybernetic implants by him that tell you Mako's a good person. Even if no one else knew about their meetups. Thank you. Oh, I'm in this one. I'm in this episode. Waters? Hello? Are you down here? You missed the meeting and my message, and I'm hoping you're okay? Waters? Oh, Waters, there you are. What are you doing?
I'm in for resources. What are you doing here?
Oh, well, you missed the meetings and you said you wanted to be updated about those if you couldn't be there, so I messaged you, but you didn't.
I'm sorry. Could I look my arms outside? Signal is kind of bad out here. I thought it would be always more cold. I want to be in peace, buddy.
okay. Light was able to ping your device. She was pretty worried.
Yeah, that's... It must have slipped my mind to tell her what was going. What happened with the meeting?
Not much, really. It was a lot of the same stuff. Payroll, updates on the guard force, still no sightings of Eclipse.
That's... mostly good news, I guess.
Yeah, Mira wrote some notes about everything, and, I think I have it. Ah, here.
Thanks. And, so have to go out all this way, right?
Sound effect. I'm happy to check in. I'm just glad you're all right and nothing weird was going on.
I see. Well, that's all. I think we're getting back to it.
And I'll leave you to it. Have a good day, Waters.
Good. Okay.
That was close.
How much longer do I need?
Just fill up the last barrel and we should be fine. You really should have thought about doing this sooner. At least it's like hardball.
This is a last result. I wish I said the body bands.
I forgot to read the beginning part. A tape can be found in a tape archive in one of the lower labs of SUNC. It records a conversation that occurred on a labeled date of D240 or February 22nd. It is labeled a MIST department head meeting. MIST meeting for short. I love doing audio stuff. If anyone ever wants me to record anything for them or with them, please. I love doing things. I love being a part of lore. We have from Oakle Croy lore. Okay. Talk of Truths. A reluctant breath loosened his shoulders, his pacing coming to a stop as he turned his body to face the house. His hand instinctively reached up to feel over the right side of his face, very faintly detecting the indents and shape of the skull beneath. The tar had been slowly growing back over that specific area, mainly because Croy was forcing it to. It was a part he wasn't fond of keeping as a permanent look. That and his right arm, which was slowly coming back to its original shape also. He gave another glance to the sun. It was the afternoon now at this point. He'd been out here debating with himself since a bit before noon. He hadn't seen Oakle out this morning or at all that day. Normally she'd come out in the morning just before or during sunrise to water her farm, and for the rest of the day she'd be talking with Krufik or Vey, sometimes just wandering about. She hadn't been out out at all today. He felt a little uncertain. He wasn't exactly sure how he felt, in all honesty. So, there the ghost stood, before the warden's home, where he'd been for an hour or more. He had felt a bit like an idiot for... something. Soon he wandered his way up the steps and raised his hand to the door, fingers curling into a loose fist. And finally his knuckles rapped against the wooden door 3 times. The sound was intended to be gentle, but came off louder in the quiet atmosphere of the deserted kingdom. A beat of silence, followed by a soft groan and the sound of a mattress and bed frame squeaking. "Who is it?" The gruff voice of Oakle came through, easing a bit of Croy's mind. His deer ear twitched a moment as he heard more shuffling before he focused, and once he was sure, he found his voice again. "It is Croy." No response. The ghost let the silence settle before deciding to speak up again, his left hand hovering over the door handle, a hair's breadth away from touching the cold metal, a cold he couldn't feel anymore. It seemed as if that had healed up too. "Am I allowed to come in, General?" Another beat, but a small groan and a sound of approval resonated through the door, giving Croy permission to enter. And soon the ghost slowly opened the door, light flooding the small cabin, making shadows from furniture grow across the floor and walls. And there sat the woman he was worrying for, her hands in her hair as she pulled it all back into a bun. The clumps were muscled, indicating that she had maybe been sleeping before Croy knocked on her door. A pang of guilt flicked up in his mind, but he shook it off for the time being. "What is it, ghost?" Oakle's voice came out in a gruff mumble, her hands rubbing across her face with a tired chuff. Her arm draped over the edge of the end of the bed frame, her legs crossed, causing a bigger dip to form on the edge of the bed where she sat. Croy moved around the door and slowly closed it over, leaving it open ajar and standing just off the side of the door frame before answering.
his arms crossing over his stomach loosely. I wanted to check on you. You were not out as I would usually see you. Okul scoffed lightly and shook her head a little, a small grin appearing across her face. She leaned back, her head lolling back and over her shoulder. Her position gave the ghost a clearer view of her appearance, a black tank top tightly pulled over her muscular torso. Beneath it and across her strong arms were bandages wrapped securely, ranging between white and clean to darkened with warden blood and age. Croy's jaw clenched instinctively, but he didn't focus too long on it, watching as Okul stood up, walking her way over to the desk where her jumper was thrown over it, practically covering the expanse of the whole surface. Gods forbid I take a nap. I'm not like you. I know that. It was just a change I did not expect, especially when your garden held your absence. Croy gestured towards the window, just about seeing the garden beyond through the crack between the drawn curtains, the crops sheltered by the wooden covering that Okul had constructed with Krufix's help. He carefully moved forward, pulling the curtain back with one hand a little more. A small smile came to his face at the sight of it thriving well among the cold environment it was surrounded by, a green patch upon a white canvas. It looks well. I would say it all would be fully grown by next month, probably sooner. The ghost felt the warden come up beside him, glancing over to see her facing towards the window also, the jumper folded in her arms. Her head tilted slightly, horns giving a small twitch of thought. Huh, sooner than I thought. Croy merely hummed in acknowledgement, but his eyes instinctively flicked to the bandages once more, his deer ears lowering slightly. He wondered how many of those bandages were needed because of the damages he did to her. His eye flicked down to her arm, seeing the darkened patches from the deep cuts caused by the chains that were once wrapped around the limb. The memory of weeks ago clouded his mind. The visions of her blood splattered over the head of the hammer he wielded a bright neon in the rush of guilty thoughts. His grip faltered from the fabric of the curtain as he got lost in it, which Okul seemed to notice, her head turning to face him. But before she could question him, before she could slag him off or give him some cocky remark, a murmur cut her off. Are they healing? The question had caught her off guard, her horns giving a small twitch. Her jaw slowly clenched at the reminder of her injuries, the tightness of the bandages becoming more noticeable. The pulse of her blood pulsing in her arm sent waves of heat from the deep gashes there over her skin. She shook a bit and scoffed, finding the ghost's focus returning to her face. I'm fine. I've had worse. What you did to me shouldn't matter to you, Croy. Her voice came off a little bitter as she turned away and walked back to plop herself back onto the edge of the bed again, before flopping back onto the pillows, her folded jumper placed beside her. She moved her not-so-injured arm upwards to the rest behind her head, a small noise of discomfort exiting her nostrils like the huff of a bull when she accidentally brushed against the tip of one of her horns. They'll heal in time. Leave scars, but they'll heal. Her begrudging answer was muttered after, probably having felt the ghost's gaze still on her from where he stood by the window, the ghost in turn merely giving a small grunt of acknowledgement. His fingers adjusted and readjusted the collar of his turtleneck over and over again, as if he was adjusting a tie for a wedding. He pulled his attention away from the resting warden and to the door, thinking about taking his leave. Okul was tired, after all. He didn't mean to wake her or bother her when she was just about to get some rest with pointless questions. At least to her. What about you? His ear instinctively perked at the sound of shuffling covers as Okul's voice came again, only calmer, almost with a hesitance. Or maybe it was reluctance. His head turned towards her, seeing that she had propped herself up a bit more, her back semi-resting against the headboard. What about me? You know what I'm talking about. Look at you. You're hardly in normal condition yourself. Croy let out a small breath of amusement, taking note of Okul's hesitance in the middle of her sentence. It was fair. He never looked to be in peak condition, as the saying goes. He doesn't think he ever will, but that wasn't a concern in his mind as of recently. Yeah, I will be alright. An injury such as this had never happened to me before. Then again, I hadn't been that close to once again dying. He gave a small laugh and shrugged his shoulders a little, taking a few steps closer to lean a bit of weight against the wall near the end of Okul's bed, his thumbs finding the belt loops in his trousers. I will heal just like you will. Sorry to disappoint you, General. I almost killed you. A beat of silence. What Okul had said wasn't a question. Croy knew that. She had fought him with full killing intent. Was it some sort of realization? No, that didn't sound right. An acknowledgement? You did, and I almost did the same to you. We are even. We are not equal. There's the bitterness again. a partial snarl that spat out from deep in the throat with the words. The ghost merely sighed, watching Opal sit up again, her legs swinging over the side of the bed to plant firmly on the rug below. Her body was hunched, head turned down, a lighter color coming to fust her knuckles as her fingers dug into the edges of the mattress. Croy leaned forward a little as if to try and catch a glimpse of the warden's face. I never said that. Why did you save me, Croy? Croy's shoulders noticeably tensed at the familiar question, a deep inhale being brought in through his nose soon after. He leaned back against the wall, turning his body to lean sideways to face towards Opal, hand running over his cheek beneath his eye. I already told you I could not leave Vey alone. Bullshit! The sharp interruption was partnered with Opal snapping back up to her feet, her horns shifting about in irritation. Croy moved off the wall quickly at the sudden loud exclamation in the previously quiet atmosphere. His eyes narrowed as the warden soon towered over him, his mouth agape as if to say something, but no words came out. Instead, the warden filled the silence once more with her frustration. Her tusks and sharp teeth slightly bared with each biting command of a word, her shoulders square, her form leaning forward to the ghost's height as she got into his face with each small step. Oh, dust! That makes sense. I was like, I've never seen that word before. That cannot be the real reason for you sparing me. Do you really take me for that much of a fool? I was never kind to you. I was disgusted by your very existence and made it known. I destroyed the leader of your faction's grave to get at his weapon. I returned to kill your son with said weapon, and almost killed you first. Opal cut herself off. Croy catching notice of the light blue color that had begun to spark in her hair, the familiar eyes moving about and looking at him. He didn't move, just watching with a growing concern that contorted his face into a frown. Opal took a step back with a deep inhale, her head turning upwards towards the ceiling. She ran her hands down her face, slumping down into them and speaking into her palms, her skulky hair shifting about over and in between her fingers like tendrils of an octopus. It doesn't make sense, Croy. You have to be smart enough to understand where I'm coming from. If you were the one on the ground, I would have never done the same. The silence settled once again, wearing the tension created between the two monstrous people. Opal's hands pulled away from her face almost reluctantly, the hair down over her face shifting and morphing back into place. She didn't turn her gaze back up, facing the floor as if trying to hide something. But soon, she felt a weight on her shoulder, detecting that it was a hand. I know exactly what you have done. It still lingers in my mind. The grave, the sword, your blood, my body falling apart. It did not disappear because I pulled you from that ruin we created. But you did not deserve to die, Opal. Not there, not then, and not now. Croy's voice was just above a whisper, the way he spoke his words almost careful, maybe unsure. It was hard to tell, even to the man himself. His eye darted to his hand on Opal's shoulder, searching for any notion that he was making her uncomfortable. But, finding none, he began to brush his thumb back and forth along the rough skin and the fabric of the tank top's strap. You had just lost the last things that connected you to where you came from, the things that had your purpose and life in a chokehold. You were angry, rightfully so, and that anger was twisted one more time to keep you blind, to do what he wanted, and that is what you did. You believed him, and it led to what happened in Kimmelgrim. A pause, a breath, a shift of weight from one side to another for a brief moment. When I saw you before I broke the sword, you were bleeding out. You were furious at the world and afraid because of what could happen if it destroyed you. All I could think was that no one taught you to be any other way. I did not save you to turn you in, to make you suffer or pay. I saved you because if I killed you, I would be no better than those who abandoned you, and those who raised you to be a weapon to fight for them. You say that you would not do the same for me. I know. That is exactly why I had to do it for you. Oh, my heart. This is so sweet. Oh. Croy guided the warden to sit on the bed again, crouching in front of her so that they would be at eye level. Opal still did not face him and just allowed it to happen, the ghost in mind. Listen to me. You have become someone I worry about, someone I watched and wondered about. That does not mean I excuse what you have done. It means I believe you are more than the worst thing you have ever chosen. And maybe you do not understand that. Maybe you never will. But from the moment I found you, you were still breathing. The decision was already made. Oh, I see. From the moment I found you were still breathing, decision was already made. I was not going to let you die thinking the world had nothing left for you except punishment. Not when I could prove otherwise. He couldn't help but let out a quiet, breathy laugh, turning his own head to face downwards, staring at where his hooves would have been planted on the floor if they were visible anymore. And if you spend the rest of your life proving me wrong, so be it. I do not regret a thing, because you are not a monster to me. You are someone who deserves to be angry, someone injured that never was shown that she did not have to bare her teeth forever. Croy shifted again, turning his head back to the warden, whose expression he couldn't read. He began leaning down as if trying to get a look at Okel's face, but when Okel pulled back slightly, he didn't move further. He waited a moment, listening to Okel breathe, trying to see where he should go next, mouth slightly parted, thinking about if he should even go further. Yet another short silence passed, and the ghost had risen to his feet, retracting from Okel's space, despite a small part of him wanting to have stayed. He had a feeling Okel wouldn't want it. And, for what it's worth, even if it matters, if it even matters, Croy began, moving slowly to the front door, his hand resting atop a nearby table, his back to the warden. Kron never helped Akena. They spoke with him, yes, but they never helped him find you. I was trying to keep him away from them, and he figured out I knew about things I should not. Another pause held the breath of everything in the room until the very air surrounding the ghost lightened up, his ears perking and his weight shifting comfortably. His last attempt to leave a mark before he died was blaming them, in hopes he would kill us both. The observation held a tone of amusement as the ghost glanced over his shoulder, a little smile spreading across his face as he gave a little shrug. Funny how things turn out, huh? The ghost didn't wait for an answer, not that he expected to get one. His hand turned the doorknob and pulled the door towards himself, the light and snow contrasting with the darker colors of Okel's house. Croy glanced back at the warden and smiled softly, his hand drifting from the table. I will still be around, Okel, so if you have questions or want to talk, I will not be far. And with that, he shut the door behind him, cutting off the cold breeze and allowing the warmth to swallow whatever had managed to get inside. The warden finally looked up to the door once it shut, catching sight of something on the table by it. And when she found herself before it, she discovered it was seeds, and a few yellow flowers, fresh bird's foot trefoils. Okel let out a breath, a smile coming to her face as her shoulders loosened up. The tension left the atmosphere, leaving comfort in its wake as the warden picked up the yellow flowers, weaving them into her hair with generous caution. Her mind reeled over the conversation as she did, and in some way a warmth came to her chest. Damn ghost. Aww. Okel redemption arc. Well, maybe. She needed to hear that. Croy is a good friend. Okel's a terrible person, yes. But Croy is a good friend. And maybe if there's anyone who can help her turn a new leaf, it is him. From Muncha, a perspective. What happened that night? Not like I remember that much. I got up from where I was sitting because I had nothing to do, so I decided to go on a walk because it was a nice day. While I was on that walk and looking at the scenery, I noticed a poster that was up. What was on it looked familiar, so I went to take a closer look at it. It was about Angler, which got me thinking, where has he been? Then it quickly hit me out of nowhere. What happened that night with Angler? The rock, the location, the water he fell into. Then I remember he said something that I need to give from the office. The thoughts of what happened to Angler started coming into my mind. They kept coming. I keep thinking about what happened that night. Am I thinking about Angler that much? I need to get my mind off of this. So getting that item it is. Completely dropping what I was doing, I tried my best to get to the office as fast as possible. It's hard for me to concentrate on this goal with this feeling. It hurts so bad. I need to keep myself from going up, and it's getting worse. But I just can't stop thinking about the well-being of Angler. I saw what happened to him right in front of me. I make it to the office and head straight to his room with his stuff in it. I enter the room and see Charles looking out the window with an unbroken gaze. It feels like when will my Angler return from war? It feels like he's just waiting there for his owner to return. The only other standout thing is the one of his trench coats with steel pauldrons that is hung up. I didn't realize that he had more than one of those. Me neither. I try not to think about it too much and put some seeds in front of him for if he stops looking out the window. I start looking through the drawers to find out what was wanted. Let's see, I say to myself as I start opening each drawer to see if I can find what he wants me to find. The first drawer I open, I notice a golden pocket watch. It's closed and I can't hear anything coming from it. I look in the next one and I see some sort of book. The cover is made of black leather and is worn. It has chains all around it with a noticeable lock in the middle of it. I don't see any readable text that says what it is, so I'll just assume it is some sort of diary of his. I open the last drawer and I think I found what was meant for me. The first thing I notice is a letter with my name on it, and under it is a big wooden box and another letter next to it. The letter has a wax stamp on it, and I assume is related to Angler. They seem to be addressed to someone else named Mira Archer. I'm not too familiar with the people around here, so I look at the letter addressed to me for context. Dear Muncha, if you have found this letter, it must mean something has taken up my availability, and I have requested you for a favor. Before you is a wooden box and a stamped letter. If you could deliver these items to the Judge of Solace, Mira Archer, that would be greatly appreciated, my friend. Address is written below. John Angler. The note helped give enough info for me to find where I'm supposed to deliver the box to. I start heading over to where I need to go. I make it to the place, and I guess I should enter to see if I can find them. I enter, and all I see is one person just sitting behind the desk looking bored. She looks up and notices me. She's a bit surprised at first, but composes herself. I ask if there is a Mira Archer here, and she says that that is her. I put the box and letter on her desk and said, "These are for you." She notices the seal on the letter to be Angler's. She opens the box and finds a beautiful blue pentagonal prism crystal with a point at the end, runes inscribed into it. After seeing those, she seems to be thinking of something. She smiles to herself a little bit before she realizes something and looks at me. "Do you know John Angler?" I tell her I do and that I work with him, which leads to a question I wasn't prepared for you. Do you know where he is currently? All I can say is that he's gone fishing and proceed to leave the building. She seems confused, but I didn't want to tell her the truth. I can see that she has a close relationship with him, but I wonder where Angler is. Somebody needs to go find him. Bro got pulled in the ocean. Oh, here he is. Immortals Odyssey. Shin finally locked in. Let's go. Oko's a great person now. Genocide? She never did that. Oh, that was nothing. I stopped slacking. There was no slacking. It was just you were fishing up the right thing. You had to let it sit. I only see darkness. Perhaps I'm dreaming? No. I would still be able to see the world around me despite my efforts. I turn my head and still don't see anything. I hear the crackling of a fire, then the screams. That's right, the winter ball was under attack. I need to check and see if everyone is all right. My eyes shoot wide open, and I stumble forward off the chair I was sitting on. My hands hit the floor and it's made of wood? The scent of an ocean hits my nostrils. I could practically taste the salt. The floor I stood upon was rocking back and forth in a rhythm. I look around and find a door at the end of the room I was in. I get up and walk over, attempting to adjust to the boat's rocking, and open the door. The sunlight temporarily blinds me. I walk outside, and as my eyes finally adjust, I look at the vessel I was aboard. Judging by its size, it was a medium vessel. I took a closer look at the boat. It was made of a sturdy wood, and looking around the frame, I saw reinforced steel. I know this boat. It was mine back on my home planet. I look around and spot the Emerald Sea with its shining glint. No islands nor ports in sight. I looked up to see the sky was gray, but I knew there wouldn't be a storm, for I remember this moment. My legs began to move on their own. My thoughts of recent events and emotions faded away, replaced with this present. It was hard attending Homer and Orion's funerals. I was asked by many of their descendants what they were like. I told them that Orion was someone who organized and cared for others, and Homer was brave, honorable, courageous, and despite all odds would do the right thing. I told them stories of their feats, of our friendship and hardships. I could see their sadness lift while I regaled these tales. A young child, probably one of their great-grandchildren, raised their hand and spoke. "If you were around when they were, why aren't you old?" It was an innocent question, but it stung. It was true. I look as if not a single day has passed since then. 56 years passed and nothing. My nails and hair would still grow, and yet I remain with the appearance of my youth. I tried to think of an explanation and had nothing. I don't know. After that day, I set out to find what Merlin did to me in that dungeon all those years ago. I went back to the castle. Fauna had begun to grow over the ruins of the abandoned palace of luxury. I walked through the empty halls until I found the familiar hallway that led me to the entrance of the basement.
I opened and saw the chipped and cracked stairs that would lead me down into the dread and darkness of the past. I pulled out one of the torches I prepared in a matchbox. With my torch lit, I proceeded down the stairs. After 20 minutes of walking, I found the bottom and saw a wooden door that has seen better days present itself. I reached out to pull the handle, and as soon as my hand made contact, the door fell forward, the fall echoing into the room ahead. Rats and all kinds of bugs scatter in all directions. I listened to hear for anything that might be living down in the dungeon. Merlin left the kingdom with no trace of where he went after Triton's fall. I needed to be ready in case he left something behind to lurk here. I moved onward, carefully observing my surroundings. It was damp and smelled horrible. Cells passed me one by one, with skeletons being their only residents except for one, the door hanging wide open. My cell. I found what I was looking for at the end of the hall, a metal door with the Archmage Merlin Do Not Disturb inscribed on it. I looked closer and tried to open the metal door, to no avail. I looked down and spot the lock. I pulled a lockpick from my pocket, and after a few minutes of trying, I heard a click. I pushed the door, and it swung forward. When I entered the room, I looked around and see a dark oak desk in the middle with a thick layer of dust built on top, shelves that had several books missing, and a corkboard on the wall behind the desk. After a few steps, I heard a crunch under my foot. I looked down and saw that I had stepped on a piece of parchment, one amongst a pile. I looked around and saw the floor was covered in parchment. I went around and collected the parchment that remained intact. I shuffled through the notes and found that the majority were incomprehensible nonsense. I got to the last 3 pages and started to read the first page. Progress Report 2359. The Fourth Horseman project has yet to yield any promising results. All the subjects keep dying before achieving any desired state. A revision may be in order to find if there is a more efficient process to reach the desired state. King Triton has brought me a new test subject, and I must say that I find his energetic attitude something I look forward to crushing. I shuddered, being reminded of how our first meeting in this place went. I set aside the page on the desk in a new pile and read the next page. I must say that these chrono wards, as repulsive as they are, have honed such a fine strand of magic, time. Even I have yet to fully understand how they were able to grasp such power. The only problem with them is their selfish nature to seclude themselves from the world. To think that what I could do with their research into such a beautiful aspect of the universe. I can't surpass them. I have no need to cheat off of their research, for I am the greatest wizard history has ever had the honor of knowing. I forgot how obnoxious the prick was. I placed the page down and read the last note. Progress Report 2400. This test subject finally has become the most useful specimen I will have at my disposal. I didn't need the wards after all. I had prepared to make a long voyage to find their island, and yet I was able to achieve what they could all on my own. I have all the time in the universe to bring this specimen to its fullest potential. I sat down in the wooden chair behind the desk, taking in what I had read. I looked over the page again. A long voyage to find their island. I got up and made my way to the exit and up the stairs. Going off of Merlin's notes, these chrono wards might have the answers I'm looking for. I acquired a medium vessel at the nearby dock. The ship isn't pretty, but it will serve me well. They say sailing without naming your ship will bring you bad luck. So I thought about the stories my parents told me and remembered my favorite animal when I was growing up. The hippocampus. Is this supposed to be like a pun? Not the hippopotamus, the hippocampus. I set sail for the journey ahead. But that's kind of funny, considering it's like memories. Yeah, anyway, that's a good name. And now, 10 years later, I have yet to find these wards. The ports I've stopped at to resupply. I've asked the workers if they have heard of the chrono wards. I was told the same rumors that Merlin knew. I traveled the northern hemisphere of the world's ocean, leaving me the equator and southern hemisphere. I've been going along the equator for 170 days, using the stars to track where I was. I must be nearing the middle between the 2 continents of the world, Jula and Kareth. I went to my cabin and pulled out a chair to prepare myself for a long day. I grab a fishing rod, cast my line out, and wait for my dinner. A few minutes pass, and a bite. I reel in my catch, a sea bass. I prepare to cook when I notice something reflected in the fish's eye facing me, something tall. I turn around and see a giant clock tower, its colors of brass and silver, standing on the island made of black stone. I shake my head and grab the wheel of the ship, looking for a place to dock. I finally spot a dock and drop the anchor. I look overboard and slide down and ladder onto the dock. I carefully climb down onto the dock and feel my boots meet the metal floor, but I don't slip. The dock had drains carved into it, moving the water that would be building up to flow into the ocean below. I follow the path up to the front door of the clock tower. I raise my hand and knock 3 times. I hear the door unlock and see a figure with a dark blue cloak lined with gold peek their head out. I couldn't see their face under their hood, only the sound of gears turning came from it. The figure spoke. "Who may you be?" The old man's voice was mechanical, gentle, and old. I had thought of my answer long before the question was asked. Despite my lack of gray hair, I am old and don't see an end in sight. I don't know what has happened to me, and I've come to find answers. The cloaked man leaned forward more. I could see his face now. The man who stood before me had skin made of copper, gears surrounding a glass lens for its eyes. The automaton was taking in my appearance. Then you have arrived at the right place. You may enter. The doors slowly opened, and I entered. The interior of the tower wasn't much different in design, but the walls were lined with mechanical pieces all moving in unison up the tower. The lobby had a glass floor showing a working clock under it. I looked over to the automaton and saw that instead of human-like legs, it had 4 spider-like legs, each wide and with dull edges. Every motion the automaton made was accompanied by a click or the rotation of some belt. "My name is Perseus. Now let me take a look at you." I walked towards Perseus, and he looked down at me. He moves his hands in front and grasps something invisible. When he moved his hands down, the blue strings made themselves visible, and Perseus created a rectangle. Text in a language I don't know appeared across the frame. When Perseus finished reading, I could hear gears turning a low click, like they were disappointed. Your time lost, my boy." I raised an eyebrow. "I'm what?" Perseus swiped the text from his panel and replaced it with a clock that was shattered and bent. "We as beings all have an internal clock. It ties us to the world we inhabit. It's eras in time, slowly ticking until it runs out. When someone's internal clock is broken, multiple outcomes can occur that may inhibit or boost them. But your internal clock is so butchered and broken that you have lost your ties to any era of time, hence the name Time Lost. I am appalled at the complete state of yours. Whoever you allowed to modify it should be embarrassed at how badly it ended up. Even a pigeon could do better than this." "Is there a way to fix it?" Perseus shook his head. "I'm afraid not, my boy." I walked back down and sat on the dock, my legs hanging over, swinging back and forth, taking in the news. I grab a stone and wait for the right moment for the waves to be calm just enough to skip the stone as far as I can. I wonder how long until I start to lose my mind. Why me? What was that bastard trying to achieve to give me such a curse? The waves calmed down. I gripped the stone and prepare to put all my frustration into my throw. I hear something, the sound of gears clicking coming closer. I turn around and see Perseus. He stands beside me, offering what I believe was a silent companionship. We watched the waves for what felt like hours, then Perseus spoke. "What you do here is up to you, but if I may offer a suggestion." I look up at Perseus. His expression was gentle. "Why don't you learn about time magic from us? Perhaps you could undo what I can't." I have what seems like unlimited time. Why not? I stand up and face Perseus. "If you are willing to teach, then sure." I spent the next 300 years learning all there was from the chrono wards, time, spatial, and gravity magic, but while you are able to comprehend all the concepts, you can't hold your magic long enough to even see any proof of understanding. You can't even do something as small as creating a spark. My ability to cast magic was abysmal. Perseus walked over to me. "I have taught you all that we know, but I believe that you will learn more if you can use the magic. Come with me." We walked into his office and over to the longest side of the room. He pointed to the map on the wall. It was old, but had many multiple moving pins and names floating in gold. He had told me before the map was enchanted to show the lands in the past or the present. His mechanical finger landed on the northeast section of the continent to the right of the world. Kareth. "The High Elves live in the woods of this area. I can't assure you that they will teach you. They're very protective of their teachings of magic, but if you can manage to convince them to teach you, it may allow you to conjure magic effectively." "Thank you, Perseus." He had become the only friend that stayed with me. "Will I be able to return here to talk to you if I fail or succeed?" A few clicks and a turn. The automaton's face is accompanied with the same smile I've grown to appreciate. "The Chrono Ward's doors are always open to you, Angler." It was nice to hear that this wouldn't be a final goodbye. "Before you leave, I would like you to have this. Even though it may seem you have an abundant amount, you should still keep track of time." It was a golden pocket watch with a golden chain. I held my hand out and he placed it in my palm. I opened the watch. The back of the clock face was charcoal black, its numbers a misty cyan blue, and its hands made of a bold silver. A firm ticking came from the watch as the hands moved. The back of the top cover was empty. Perhaps one day I should put a photo in there to fill the space.
I shake Perseus's hand. Is that the watch that Muncha found? I shake Perseus's hand and walk out the tall grand doors of the clock tower and down to the docks where the hippocampus remains stationed, preparing for the new horizon ahead. I bet that was the same pocket watch. Interesting. Alright, we have Judas and Kiri's lore. Eerie nightmare. As like any other night on Solace, the sky was dark, wind whistling a familiar tune as it gusted past the leaves of the treetops. To most, this was the time to sleep, and that was no exception for Judas. Judas dreamed of a comfort that he no longer felt, the contentment of having his home and family, the scenery that was engraved in his mind, perfectly distributed and placed from what he remembered his room was like. Not a single noise stirred, leaving him to a sense of relaxation as he read a small magazine that explained methods and rules for kickboxing. Some of the questions were easy, a top-of-the-mind answer, while others took a bit of thought. Nothing that he didn't know, though. Judas was laser-focused on the book. So much so that when he looked up... When he looked up, the walls around him contorted into a hazy mess that was similar to that of dripping paint. He put his magazine down to the side, rising from his seat and approaching the contorted walls, trying to remember what it looked like beforehand so that he could possibly reshape it back to its original state. The walls swirled around in an unnatural movement, giving Judas the needed acceptance that it would not readjust its textures. As he stood there, fog slithered into the room, slinking past Judas and rising up slowly to level with the ceiling, creating a dense atmosphere. Judas tried to move back to his seat, then he heard a muffled voice call out, but still one that was sickeningly familiar. Kiri's. Judas turned to face the voice's direction, seeing the demon waving her arms aimlessly around the fog, clearing it up somehow. The fog completely faded after a few seconds of her practically attacking it, revealing her standing there with a crooked grin when Judas recognized who she was. Don't think that I got your name last time, but hey, that's fine. Ha ha ha. She looked quite happy to see him, kicking past a few items that covered the floor in a dispersed manner to make her way over to him. Judas glowered at her as she clumsily made her way over to him, keeping his mouth shut as she spoke to him like a friend rather than a stranger. It was a problem that she was here, let alone in his dream. It felt like a crime, even if Solace wouldn't have such a silly law as that. Why would you need my name? More importantly, why are you here? How... Judas switched to different questions, trying to find a stable question rather than multiple poorly asked ones. How are you here? He settled upon the question, crossing his arms. Whoa, whoa, pal, one question at a time. She raised her hands up in surrender, quieting him before he could ask anything else. Kiri swept the room with her eyes, focusing on a small picture frame on the counter. Before Judas could stop her, she walked over to it and picked it up, tilting the frame sideways. Aw, hey, what's this? Give me that, Judas exclaimed, while trying but repetitively failing to grab the picture frame as Kiri's moved away from his reach. Is that you and your family? Ooh, do you think that they remember you? That must be why you're here, she giggled out, holding it up in the air for him to snatch back, in which he did right after she raised it into his view. Don't do that, please. He brushed off the glass of the frame, wiping off any sort of debris on it. It's nobody that you need to know. Judas carefully set it back down onto the dresser, angling it perfectly back into its original placement. Awfully caring for a photo of people who don't even remember you. I don't see any point to it, really. It's not like they care or anything. She shrugged off his care over such a silly thing in her eyes, digging around the room to find something else to mess around with. Kiri's ended up finding the kickboxing magazine, snatching it off from the chair and dropping herself onto a chair sideways like a sack of potatoes. The magazine was slightly torn as she opened it with unnecessary force, holding it up into the air and skimming through its pages. Judas was temporarily lost in his thoughts. Was she right? Did they ever remember him? Did they ever care? Surely they did. They must have. He stared at the picture frame in silence, only breaking the silence once he looked back over at her. I don't know, honestly. Ever since the anomaly, I knew that those questions wouldn't be answered, but I'd like to think positively about it, you know? Kiri's let out an annoyed groan, throwing the magazine to the side and rolling out of the chair. Listen, man, I don't know what you mean, and I don't care about it either. Perhaps I could shed some light on your hopeful eyes. She walked over to the wall, pushing it onto the wall as it warped into black sand that slowly poured to the ground like a shattered hourglass. Soon after, everything around them both melted into black sand, shifting the set land around them into a black void. Judas looked devastated. turning in a complete circle to look around himself as his room literally fell apart in front of his very eyes. My room! What the... He paused his protest when his eyes met the eyes of another's figure, his mother. His jaw dropped as he tried to form some sort of question to ask her. His mother, right in front of him. But how? It may be a dream, but this still felt real somehow. It can't be! Aren't you... He stepped back from the figure, stammering over his sentence as he tried to find the words that he wanted to say. Before Judas had a chance to ask anything else, the figure collapsed to the ground, crumbling into a pile of the black sand just as his room did. He knew that it wasn't real, but he couldn't help but cry out as soon as she turned to sand, dropping to his knees and grabbing handfuls of the sand in a desperate attempt to reform it. Curies crossed her arms, letting out a small sigh as he kept trying to do something, or anything, about the sand. She walked up beside him, patting his back like it was some form of emotional support. A tough style for it, though. Oh, poor you. Not even a minute. Not a word. His face wrinkled as he held back tears, turning to face her and shouting in a pained voice, Why would you do that? How do you know what she looks like? The sand spilled through his fingers and back into the void of a pile, creating new layers of sand that soon sunk into the ground. I have my ways. Curies drew her arm back, a bittersweet smile tugging at her lips despite the concern in her eyes. I know that it hurts to accept such a harsh truth, but think about it. They aren't around anymore, and they surely mustn't have broken a thought about you during their final moments. Even if they cared about you for such a short amount of time, they can't now. Never again will they dare to think of you, not in such a sudden grave. What else do you have to lose? She scoffed, lifting her tail up to her hands and brushing her claws through the fur. Did she say anything to you? Please tell me. Judas stood up, looking desperate for any sort of truthful words. Curies grinned when she saw the opportunity to lie once more, though this one would be more cruel and straightforward. She expressed quite the amount of shame for your future goals, and said that you couldn't do it. That little plan of yours is nothing but a false wish. You'll just drag your family down with you. Judas shook his head in disbelief, having trouble believing that she'd say anything remotely close to that. It didn't sound like her, but what else does he have to believe? Curies dropped her tail, sighing in response to him looking so hurt. Oh, cheer up. It's just part of life. Some things go your way and other things don't. She spat at him. The tone of her voice ached as she said that, as if she spoke with a sense of understanding. Don't let that stop you, she muttered out before turning away and walking out into the darkness that surrounded them until she completely disappeared, leaving Judas to his own thoughts. Judas snapped awake, bolting upright in his bed as the nightmare fogged away in his mind, though the words never left him. He looked to the side, his eyes lying upon the same picture frame. His hands reached out to the frame, resting on the back side of it, pushing the frame to the table and hiding the photo of his family. Curies confused him. Her words made him dwell on the thoughts that made him feel ill. The possibility of his family hating him lingered, but only time would have the final word. Some Gabriel lore. Photograph. Sands shift beneath me as I approach the mountains of this island. The weather is forever clear, and the sorrow trap underneath. I know what's on the other side of this hidden door. Their photograph is laid out on the wall in front of me. I do miss them still. I finally free the photo from the wall and make my way toward the community center. I can feel water drip down from my face. Maybe it can rain on this island. Oh. Did Gabriel go to the weatherless island and take down the painting that has him on it? He's crying. He doesn't know what crying is. Oh, the poor guy. There's something wrong with him. Something's up with him. I don't trust it. I'm scared. I don't want to be asleep anymore. I don't like this dream. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be in this room. Fun fact, Rin hates this room because this used to be their mama's room. They miss the person that cared for them. Poor child. Rip. From Zenithra. Hello, reader. Oh, can't see it. Hold on. There we go. 36 days since it happened. 36 days since the incident. 36 days of panic and dread. 36 days with his voice in my head. 35 days of hiding in shadows. 30 days running from every echo. Anyone's footsteps, fear in my bones. A life spent dodging, always alone. 15 days since I last spoke aloud. 13 since I conquered him, unbowed. 10 days since I looked for my face. In any mirror, vanished without a trace. 5 days since hunger left me weak.
3 days since sleep decided to sneak away into darkness, leaving me raw. And now, 0 days since I trusted anyone. Hello. Ooh, let me do this. There we go. Hello, whoever is reading this, and I know someone will be because he told me so. I suppose it's time to confess, if it only to this empty page. So much has changed, both inside and out. I don't know if I even recognize myself anymore. My body is unrecognizable. I'm taller now, broader, a twisted imitation of adulthood. My skin is stretched and marked by scars I never asked for. The wings, yes, real wings, tear through my back, awkward and aching as they grow. They're not beautiful. They're monstrous, jagged, and heavy. Sometimes when I can't sleep, I watch as tiny stars bloom along the edges, pulsing faintly. When hunger gnaws at me, I tear one off and swallow it whole. It burns in my stomach and leaves me shaking, but it keeps me alive. I don't know if it's a gift or a curse. Maybe it's both. Maybe it's just what's left when a body learns to survive starvation. Then there's his goo. He used his goo! Sorry. The sickly black substance that leaks from my arm and cheek. It smells like burning plastic and bitterness. I can use it to set things alight, to destroy, to defend myself, but that's not all it does. There are things it can do, horrible things that I won't write down, not now, maybe ever. Every day I look in the mirror and see something more monstrous than even the day before. My eyes are the worst. They glow sickly purple. Even with my vision half gone, even when I squeeze them shut, the light never goes away. I keep thinking that if I could just scrub hard enough, I could get the color out, but it's inside me now. It's a part of me, like everything else he left behind. Mentally, I'm not a child anymore. How? You were a child 5 minutes ago. I can't be. I don't even remember how to be one. He's gone now. He, the voice, the shadow, the presence that lived in my mind, that told me what to do. What to feel, how to hurt. I killed him. Or maybe I just buried him so deep he can't crawl out anymore. His power is still in me, waiting to be used, but it's mine now. He doesn't get a say. Solace, with all its corruption, can't control me. Maybe I'm finally free, but it's a freedom built from ashes and blood. I want it all to end. The violence, the killing, the monstrosities I became a part of. I want to put down my weapons and rest. But rest feels impossible with everything I've done. You want to know how Solace is corrupt? I hear someone asking, some faceless voice in the dark. Here's how. I killed someone, in front of a judge. Oh, yeah, Lux. I mean, yeah. Blood on the floor, on my hands. I was a child, so they let me go. No trial, no sentence. No one even looked for me. No wanted posters, no missing child reports. That's the horror. If a child, or someone who could pretend to be one, gained people's trust, they could kill and walk away free. Solace protects monsters as long as they wear a child's skin. Maybe that's why I survived. Maybe that's why I became what I am. And now a message for Truffle. If you ever find this, I want you to know. Sorry, I don't blame you for being a terrible guardian. I blame myself for needing you, for believing you could be the parent I lost. You weren't ready for that, and I never should have forced you into it. I release you of guilt, of responsibility, of everything. You owe me nothing. Not for killing my mother, not for pretending to care, not for anything. And I owe you nothing in return. I'm leaving. I'll survive on my own, somehow. Maybe I'll return to society in time, but it will be slow, painfully slow. Maybe in another universe this place could have been safe, even beautiful. But not here, not now. Here, children are never safe. Maybe they never will be. Sincerely, Zenithra. Oh, don't tell me that's the last of Zenithra. Damn. Alright, we're gonna read the other ones, and then we will end on this. This is Action Fire lore. Wow. Okay, hold on. The Journey of Action Fire. Despite how he tries, Ben, or Action Fire, is not as cool or mysterious as he says. He's a dork who just loves exploring the strange and odd world he lives in which he is fine with being a dork and complete nerd about his favorite topics. The only goal that Action Fire has is the mystery of his origin and why he existed within this world. As far as he can recall, he awoke within a crash site of an unknown vehicle. We need a counter for how many people crash land on Solace with no memories. What's this? Hello, welcome. Do you like lore? Do you like Minecraft SMPs? That's what this is. You should join. Also, Action Fire is fine. You can totally crash land with no memories. It just happens a lot. Of course you can join! We've had so many people join today. It's so exciting. I recommend, so like, if you want to play in the Minecraft server, you can get whitelisted. There's the whitelisted channel. If you want to get in on the lore, look at the Getting Started channel. There's like a ton of channels. You'll get used to it. But first, look at the getting started channel. That is super important. That's where you'll be able to like find. We have like a wiki if you're interested in that, and we have like videos of like deep dive into last season's lore, and we have like longer and shorter versions of like bringing you up to speed. Marvel lore. We have a ton of people who like Marvel. My boyfriend loves Marvel stuff. He loves Iron Man. I also love Iron Man. Do you have a favorite? Also, not this season's villain, but an upcoming season's villain is very inspired by Ultron and Thanos, in a way. Anyway, yeah. But it's not this. It's an upcoming villain, not this season, sadly. Thanks for following. This season's villain, to me, was very inspired from like Abby in The Last of Us. Maybe more Ellie. Either one. Anyway, continuing on. Here we go. As far as he could recall, okay, blah, blah, blah. He built a home for himself and gained a foothold within the rules of this world he found himself in. Later on, he decided to explore the distant lands outside of his new home. From lands where great and terrible people fight over many things to a kingdom that was built in the sky, where a great warrior became #1 with potatoes. Wow, that's a throwback. But soon Ben came to realize that he is not like other beings in this world. He came to realize that he cannot die or stay dead for long. He was not undead. He was very alive like other living creatures around him. All thanks to an amulet that had never left his side since his awakening, made of gold and a gem that ever so slightly shifts from an emerald green to a deep piercing blue. The amulet was most surely held a great well of magic in an era old. Ben may not know what he is or where he is from. All he does know is that he is himself, and that will never change. Inspirational. I'll put the sticker that has been reviewed. So the Discord invite is invalid? Hold on. Hold on. We have like... Hold on, hold on. I just realized, I don't know how, but the invite link, like, expired, so I had to remake it. Anyway, click the same link now. It will work. I hope those 12 people who tried to join earlier did not... Like, I hope they were able to join. Anyway. It should let you in now. Was anyone able to get in? My gosh, I guess not. Oh, that's so sad. With like 12 people wanting to join and then no one could. Entry 6. I went to the faction meeting a teensy bit ago. I met a cool person. Their name is Croy. They're awesome. I really like them. I asked them if they knew the TV head person from the tower, and they're actually friends with them. They helped me with the TV person's gift, and it was nice. Also, earlier today, I checked if the TV person took the gift, and they did. Yay! I've also been dreaming about my old home. I hate it. I hate it so much, I wish I could forget everything. Oh, we had a lot of yay and a lot of oh. Alright. And to wrap things up, we have this video from We Don't Have Many Days. I wonder what lovely lore there could be.
Why don't you talk to me? It's that important. You're such a hard ass about that. We talked about this like 10 minutes ago. Oh, so now I'm being a hard ass? Fine, I'll talk to her. She's probably asleep.
Sona, come into the kitchen, please.
Shh. He's sleeping.
And he can continue sleeping while we talk in the kitchen. Come.
Fine.
I'm hungry.
I know. Fall.
I'm cold.
I know. Me too. You want my jacket?
Mm-hmm.
Here. Better?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I have a surprise for you when we get home.
Is it cookies?
Maybe. You were gone for almost 2 weeks and now you're leaving again? I can't
Do this to provide for you and Taval.
When you're gone, I have to be the one to provide.
It's not our choice, Sona. You know that.
It's not fair.
Life isn't fair. The sooner you realize that, the better.
Please don't go.
What, Mom?
Not now, Taval. I'm busy.
Sona, I'm hungry.
I said not now.
Sona.
I said go away. Mom and Dad are gone because they have to take care of you. Life isn't fair, Taval. Get used to it. Taval! Come back! Where are you? Please come back! I'm sorry, Taval! Taval! Please come back. Didn't mean it. I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Taval!
That's supposed to say 2476. Oh, why did it switch halfway through? What the heck?
Why are you doing this? Just because you can?
The universe isn't perfect. Cracks have formed in the life that inhabits it. Without restriction nor guidance. I am here to remedy that which is broken.
What, by killing them and putting them through some machine?
If you cannot understand your sacrifice or my design,
I've lived on the rim my entire life. I've seen enough. Killing what's left of us is a mercy.
a mercy indeed. Very well.
Okay. Hi, Frog. Do I do game recommendations? Sure. What do you like to play? My favorite game of all time is Stardew Valley. Maybe Minecraft close second. Anyway, that was some more Eclipse backstory for those who like Eclipse backstory. Also, I realized like the caption messed up in multiple places, and I like cut off some audio. Do I do movie recommendations? Sure. What do you like to watch? I'll recommend whatever. I'm more of a show person than a movie person. Are you gonna upload the recent faction meeting? I thought I did. Did I Oh, I might have uploaded the last faction meeting, not the most recent one. Would you play Roblox Squid Game if I did a video on it and try to get as many SMP members into it to see who would win? Yes, of course. I would announce it too. Game recommendation. Oh, do I play recommendations that people make? I thought you were asking me to give recommendations to you. I don't know. I don't play a lot of games. I think the only game I've played on here, which was only like 2 streams in the past like 6 months, was Deltarune. Because a bunch of people were asking me to play Deltarune. This because I would stream more often. My job lines up. I work 5 to 8 p.m., which is like peak stream time. So I only stream Lore Tuesdays, really. But if I get a job that has better hours, maybe that ends at 5 instead of starts at 5. Anyway, I would probably stream more. I don't know what before sunrise is, but I'll look it up. Okay. I will see you all next week. Make sure we have things coming up here. Let me look here. Virgil's writing course, of course. Faction meeting. Keep your stuff open for March 7th. That's going to be a big event that you'll want to be a part of. Anyway, I'll see you next week. Bye! Stop with the skeleton, please! I beg!